Okay, everybody. So, here is what is going on this evening. Just so that you're all aware. Jada de Laurentiis will be joining us. But unfortunately, it's not going to be the customary that I hope that we would be enjoying, because in order to have a customary, the conditions have to be right. And there has been many times in the history of this Amenten and the Amentens that the customaries have been canceled. Or the customs have been canceled. And there I go again, not filming myself properly. So, either we have the custom canceled, or we make a different custom. But either way, I think I've become more realistic over the years, and I think it would be really, really special if we have a dinner at Do Undo's this evening. We unfortunately didn't have that dinner yesterday when it was sunny. Now, unfortunately, I just want to throw out May 22nd, that particular date, because there's something really nostalgic about that date. In my experience, that date is when I graduated. And the thing that I want to look at while, Jada is here is I really want to delve into, the sign of Leo, because she was born under her sign, and I really, would like Deborah Silverman to do a reading for her. And I talk all the time about express and express, and what is the difference between those two things. And express in one sense could mean something different about somebody. Okay, you have two people and what's different about them. And what could that person teach or show that other person or project onto somebody else that is different, that you are on the side of, that is very strong, and that quality, and also those customs that they that come to mind when you think of them. The customs are very important. And so, unfortunately, on May 22nd, you will all be living with your nodal opposite, your nodal soulmate. And that was planned out in advance, and I don't know if I'm going to cancel that or not. But things just come up that are besides the plan, the main plan. And when those things come up, certain things have to happen for that plan to occur. And the plan is that we're going to be perhaps having a kind of celebration, an Italian celebration on May 22nd. And it is supposed to represent the feeling of being at the summit of a mountain, of experiencing all of these heights. Because I, look at Jada de Relentless, and I should, and I made that mistake on purpose, actually, relentless in terms of living an ongoing celebration. Because right now, because of the system, and there's a way that people come to the Amenten, the real Jada de Laurentiis is in Italy right now. And, she is in Rome. And, certain, she's going to restaurants and she is traveling around. But tonight I really wanted to have a celebratory dinner because that got, weaved into the plan. It will probably be a mix of Italian and Mexican cuisine because, of course, tonight is Cinco de Mayo. I will be joining you, of course, and we'll be celebrating Giada De Laurentiis, and she'll be joining us. So, I just want to tell you that, it is social media influencers like Giada De Laurentiis that there's one thing to keep in mind, and that thing is not to, to compare yourself and feel like you have less and you're living less. And I am using Deborah Silverman to express that aspect of, Giada De Laurentiis. It's not, it can be an aspect of them that you're expressing. And it can also be, let's say when talking about Deborah Silverman, I don't like how she sells, a huge $1,000 course. Well, here's what I'm going to express. The side of her that I'm going to express in that situation is her simple side and the content that she provides beyond the selling of the courses. That can become very powerful. And it becomes tested when you're going through the types of mental, emotional, psychological issues that I've been going through. And so I think that when the North Node moves into Aries in July, I think it's going to be, it may be, it may be more of a relief to me. And it may be easier for me that I may not be so caught up in all of these issues that I may be dealing with right now. Because over the past 18 months we've been sort of going through a type of surgery, psychic surgery, as Michael Lennox calls it. And today, of course, is a lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And, Scorpio is a sign of emotional intensity, but it's also dealing with depth and tenderness of emotion. So, the eclipse today is far more significant than the one that we had a couple weeks ago, for a very good reason. A huge reason is because the North Node is still in Taurus and the South Node is still in Scorpio. An eclipse that occurs in the signs the nodes are in is way more significant than eclipses that occur in the signs that the nodes are not in. Remember that. So this is huge. And Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the higher octave of Mars. And I'm not talking anything negative or putting down my own sign in that eclipse happening. But this one is even bigger and even more potent than the last, by far. So, now, Giada is currently bouncing back and forth between my Amenten and Levimbi Talay Talks Amenten, so she will be joining us at Yuandu's. The buses are waiting for you, and now you can go on those buses, and we're going to head over to Yuandu's, even though it may be raining. even though customarily it won't work, if May 22nd, that particular day, works in terms of weather, I do want to, celebrate Jana and also look back to past nostalgic memories that I have going on. I don't want to go, get into that. But it may be a little bit of a kind of a I don't know what you call it. Kind of a break within your experience living with your person who has their notes opposite yours. So maybe that's why I'm not the biggest fan of Gordon Ramsay, because his nodes are the same sign as mine is, and his birthday was actually November 8th. And we all know that was the day of the last total lunar eclipse in Taurus last year, if you've been following the astrology. So now you can all go on the bus, on your buses, enjoy, have a wonderful, of course I will be there. I will be joining you very shortly, and let's have fun tonight.